Robbie here. Listen, lots of people have been asking me, Robbie, how have you managed to lose so much weight? And I feel so much better for it. And it has been a journey. But these two little things here, Optimum Day and Optimum Night, have really, really helped me on my weight loss journey. This Optimum Day, what it does, it helps you to curb your cravings. It really helps with your metabolism and just really just stabilizes things. And I swear by this. I absolutely swear by this. And then the Optimum Night, what this one does, I take these before I go to bed at night, helps you to have a much better, deeper sleep, makes you relax, makes you sleep, and makes your body recover. And these pills, I mean, listen, they're not magic pills, but they're all natural, and they have really, really helped me in my weight loss journey, and I really, really swear by them. So if you want to get your hands on these, scan the QR code in the description right now, or click the link down below, and you can get 70% off your first order with the Optimum Day and Optimum Night by Oxford Natural. As I said, these have been essential tools in my weight loss journey. Of course, there's no magic to it. You've got to eat less, you've got to go to the gym, you've got to do all those things. But these two have really, really helped me, and I recommend them very, very highly. So once again, if you want to get them and get 70% off your first order, all you've got to do is scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description, and you get 70% off your first order.
Yes, everybody, welcome back to DL Sports. Welcome back to Live at 5. We're here. It's Thursday. The working week's almost over, but in the football world, the news never stops. Today, I'm joined on my left by Laurie. How you doing today, mate?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I've got
Blessed
good energy. I've had about 3 energy drinks today, so I'm alive and ready. How are you feeling, Alex?
No good for you, mate. You need to cut that out of your diet.
Yeah, he tells me that all the time.
Yeah, you're drinking taurine, mate. But big up the Samsung TV.
Yeah.
Bit of energy for the show. Come
yeah,
on,
man.
boys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. But today, what I want to talk about, what we're going to start with, is the latest news. You know what? That always freaks me out behind the camera there, the big cut of X. It keeps moving around the studio.
Go and get it?
You can go and get it if you want. Yeah,
they can't. They don't know what you're talking about.
It's a big cutout of expressions that every time I see it, it scares me. Like on the corner of my eye and everything. Huh?
It's like a scarecrow.
It is like a scarecrow, yeah. But the big cutout of X. It is absolutely terrifying.
This is how he's going to look, right? This is how X is going to look when Liverpool come to town on Saturday.
Wait, go down. You cannot see it.
He's quite a tall lad, isn't he?
He's a tall boy. But it's like they keep hiding it in like the corner of the different things of the studio. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Big expressions.
So we'll leave him there. And like I said, hopefully he's doing that come Saturday 7:30.
Because even X is baffled that the latest news is if Pep Guardiola leaves Man City this summer, Enzo Maresca, obviously Chelsea manager, is a high among the candidates that they're considering should Guardiola leave. So apparently, insiders at City are saying there's a solid chance that this might be Pep's final season. So this is 9th, I want to say, season in the Premier League, maybe even 10th now.
I think by the time he finishes, it will be 11.
It's 11th season.
2015-16 he came in.
Yeah.
Did he? Maybe he didn't. Maybe it was 16-17, but yeah.
But either way,
there
seems to be a lot of kind of rumblings that there's a growing anticipation, that's the right word, of this being Guardiola's last season at City. A firm decision will be likely to be made closer to the end of the campaign. And in the meantime, City are advancing contingency plans for the possibility of that, of Pep leaving, with Maresca high on the list. Do you think this maybe, to a certain extent, could speak more to the continuing unsettlement at Chelsea? Because obviously Maresca's been so kind of here and there and saying weird stuff left, right and centre.
I mean, listen, it's difficult to really criticise Maresca when he has brought in the trophies he has brought into Chelsea so far. Yes, there's a big question mark around his kind of consistency of playing players regularly. There's a lot of tinkering, a lot of chops and changes. And I think there have been points in this Chelsea tenure where he's been close to being sacked, and then he gets a few good results and brings it back. They finished quite well last season. However, on paper, should Enzo Maresca be managing Man City after Pep? I don't think so. But am I surprised knowing Enzo Maresca's City roots? Obviously, we saw the picture of him at the front of the show there. He's very close to Pep. He's worked under him. He's worked at the City Football Group before. And sometimes in football, it's not about how good you are, it's who you know. Look, they're not guaranteeing that he's going to become the next manager. That has an impact on Chelsea as well. Of course it does. But, I mean, for me, if I was a City fan and I saw us being linked with Maresca as the Guardiola replacement, I'd be like, can't we do any better? With all due respect, because like I said, it is difficult to criticise him because of what he's done.
Yeah.
But I think I'm not surprised by it, but I don't think he'll end up getting the job. But he will be on a 3-4 man shortlist.
He'll be on the shortlist because the Athletic article further states that he retains admirers in the hierarchy, obviously having worked there at senior and youth level behind Pep, etc. But then I look at some of the other managers, at least the free agent managers at the moment. Obviously, end of the season, it's going to be different. There's going to be other managers available probably as the season goes on, people get sacked, etc. But the other managers out there at the moment, free agents, is Gareth Southgate, Joachim Low, you got Xavi, Thiago Motta, Igor Tudor, Ange Postecoglou, Marco Rose, Eric Ten Hag, Edin Terzic. Is just
but
some of the names.
this is only now. He's not leaving now, is he? So by the time he does eventually leave, that list will look wholly different, won't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Named,
But that's just people who are out now.
And it could even be a thing where the person isn't a free agent and they just go and...
You might want to add Arne Slot to that list.
Yeah, possibly.
Might want to add
Ruben
Mikel
Amorim, I can't lie.
if he doesn't win.
Who?
If he doesn't win the league this year, Mikel will be on that list.
He could well be. I mean, he did used to be coach at Man City.
Cone man.
I always thought if it felt
He used
like
to put the cones out, didn't he?
It did feel like kind of Mikel Arteta was at Arsenal to then one day end up back at City.
Yeah, that's been said. But I'm kind of with, I don't like to agree with Alex too much, but I am kind of with him that if I was a Man City fan and Maresca's name's been bandied about after the phenomenal success that Pep's had. I think he's been there since, I think it's the 1st of July 2016.
Yeah, 2016-17 season.
So
Thank you, Paddy,
he's
in the
had
chat.
an unprecedented success. I would argue that it's between him and Alex who's been the best managers.
Me,
well, him,
or-
Alex, and no, not you.
No, not
Sir
not,
Alex.
Sir
not
Alex.
me.
Sir
Not you.
Alex.
Not me.
Yeah.
You're not quite Sir.
I haven't
yet.
got the sir.
Yeah. Sir Alex, Wenger, and then Pep. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I hear that. But the thing is, if I was a City fan, I would be looking almost only at Vincent Kompany. If this is the thing, because he's at Bayern Munich, he's just signed a new new contract with Bayern Munich recently.
But it didn't start well for him there, did it? Do you remember? Obviously, didn't Dortmund win the league in his first season when he was the manager? Yeah, Leverkusen won.
Yeah,
it then,
Leverkusen, yeah.
But again, he's got the City link. It's very easy to see why he would be linked with them. Because
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that City fans.
and I'm not
would.
saying he's not a good manager, because he clearly is. But again, it's who do we know who's one of us?
Well, let's be honest, it's going to be hard to replace Pep in it.
It's impossible to replace him. You can't.
Yeah, but I'm with Alex insofar as I've got to choose my words carefully, but I would imagine a lot of them would be underwhelmed, shall we say?
Yes, that's the right word.
You're
Yeah,
not
I feel
exactly going to be shout his name from the rafters.
Is it potentially an impossible job to...
Potentially it is.
Because I mean, I've seen it with Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex
Poison
Ferguson,
chalice?
26 years. Even, I know obviously Slot, he won after Jurgen Klopp left after, was it 7 years Klopp was at Liverpool?
9.
9 seasons. So a very similar length to Pep Guardiola
Yeah.
now at Man City. Obviously, Arne Slot then come in, won the league, with the circumstances of having the amazing players that he has with Mo Salah, etc. Before this season, obviously, it became a lot more rocky. But there is a certain extent of maybe it could be a good idea for Man City to go for a maybe slightly quote-unquote underwhelming manager, where
Build,
the expectations
project.
will kind of
While they transition.
lower
We
while
did that
they
at Arsenal.
then build up again.
Because when Wenger left, we had a couple of managers that, including a couple of ex-players that didn't quite hit the mark. And then we got Arteta, and obviously he's doing well at the moment. So, yeah, it's a transition phase. They might go for somebody completely out of the blue.
Yeah, also, but I was just double-checking this. Kompany won the league last season, which was his first
Right.
season. So Leverkusen's was the season before Kompany joined. That was when
Yeah.
Tuchel was still in
But
charge.
before that, he got relegated with Burnley.
But then
So-
also before that, he then, I know he was in the Championship,
Anderlecht.
absolutely stormed the Championship with the
he
same
did.
Burnley side.
A lot of people were, I know we're digressing slightly, a lot of people were kind of, for want of a better word, dissing Kompany when he took over at Bayern. But I knew he'd be good.
It was a bizarre move, wasn't it? It's worked
It's
out
not
well.
that bizarre, I'll tell you why.
Took a
because
chance on him.
They took
Yeah,
a chance
but
on him.
that's what I mean. Is that
But
like
anybody that had seen him, right, even though they got relegated, you knew that there was a potentially good manager there. And, like we said already, he got Burnley up by playing some really good football, which they were not known for previously. So, he didn't have the players to execute the plan in the Premier League, and he got relegated. But
Did he
I
get
knew he'd do
ridiculed?
well at
Do you
Bayern.
think he got ridiculed in the Prem when he was Burnley manager? I do.
No, I don't think he got
I don't
ridiculed.
think he got ridiculed, but it was just kind of.
But when he got the
got
job
relegated
at
by the end
Bayern,
of
there
it.
was a lot of people say, how could he get the job when he's... I didn't really take too much attention to that because I always thought he would do well at Bayern.
Well, what he's done so well at Bayern, through just some people who I know who like Bundesliga football, like German football, is he say that he's managed to completely change how the club play football on the pitch. He said that they said obviously he's obviously won the league last season with Bayern, looking to win the league again this season with Bayern once again. But he said what's been the starkest difference between him and then previous managers where they had like Tuchel, Nagelsmann, etc., is that he's managed to completely change the style of the club.
Well, that's
which
what
is
he did
really,
with Burnley.
really hard. Yeah, and that's a really hard thing to do
Exactly.
as a manager. Is go into a club and go, I know you've been playing this way for 50 years or whatever. I know you've got this thing in 50 years, but no, we're going to rip it up. We're going to change it. We're going to sign new players. His talent ID has also been fantastic as well. Like bringing in Harry Kane, despite the fact that some people might have questioned the price and considering his age, everything. Bringing in someone like Luis Diaz, bringing in Elise, and bringing these other players in, and also like developing
And
younger
Carl
players.
as well.
Carl has been
The
fantastic for them
youngster.
this season.
Musiala's been honed under him a bit. He's coming
Yeah.
back from injury now. I think Diaz was a great addition for them.
Diaz
I
was
think he
such a
suits
buy.
that league. It's almost a little bit too easy for him. If you see what some of his goals,
Yeah.
he's got so much time to finish, so much time to express himself, and he'd never get that in the Prem. Like,
Interesting.
I think his highest scoring season for Liverpool was 18 in all comps last year, Luis Diaz. I wouldn't be surprised if he got at least 25 to 30 in all comps this season. Because the way that team score goals is frightening.
You've definitely missed him, haven't you, at Liverpool?
Yeah, in term because we didn't really replace him as a. We
On the
didn't buy a
left.
profile to replace him, and that profile is a 1v1 kind of take you on, go down the line, embarrass you, do some skills, look for the overlap, and can cut inside. And obviously Gakpo has been shoehorned in. He doesn't like the overlap. He always cuts inside. So we still need, and that's why it's been so refreshing to see Rio. I mean, Rio will stand anyone up and do a few step overs and go for it. Like that's the thing with him being so young. He's so fearless. But yeah, Kompany's a good manager. I can definitely see him at City one day. That will happen one
Do you
day.
think maybe if he was to join City this season, it could be maybe a little too soon for him in management?
Yeah,
I
would.
feel like Arteta, for example, has been quite a rare profile in being able to take over a Big Six club, like basically in the very, very infancy years of his coaching career, and eventually succeed in it.
One thing I
Well,
would
not
say,
yet.
you've
He hasn't
seen
done
that.
that yet.
Well, comparatively to Emery and Wenger, the last like 4 or 5 years under Arsene Wenger.
One thing I would
FA
say is that
Cups.
whenever you get like ex-players who take over a manager's job, there is that initial period of good grace with the fans.
Because of what you did as a player.
Exactly, yeah. And let's
Especially
face
being
it,
captain and everything and winning
he's a
so many
legend
league
there.
titles.
So there will be a section of the fan base, a considerable section, I would imagine, that will give him time that might not be afforded to another manager who's just come into the job. One thing I would say about Maresca is interesting because he was managing Leicester before he took over at
Yeah.
Chelsea. And even though he did well there, I distinctly remember
They went through
listening
some bad
to
spells.
phone-ins, where the fans were very uncomplimentary about his the football style that he deployed. And we're seeing that, of
They
course,
didn't
at Chelsea.
finish top though, did they? Didn't they get in through the playoffs when he did
No, I
get
think they-
Leicester up?
I
can't
thought they came
remember
up as
how.
champions.
Maybe.
I think they did.
I'll work it
Well,
out. now.
obviously,
would have been
when they got
23,
promoted, I
24.
remember
They won
listening.
with 97 points.
Yeah,
They won the league by
yeah.
1 point. Damn, that was
So
a
yeah,
close
so I
fight,
remember
actually.
listening to phone-ins, and even though he'd taken them up, and you'd have thought that Leicester fans would be hooping and hollering, a lot of them were saying, we did well to get up, but the football was terrible, very one-pace, very predictable. Goes to Chelsea, and it's the same thing there. So, goes
Yeah,
to
I'm not sure how well the style of play that he's playing at Chelsea would translate to City.
no, the point I'm trying to make is he has one way of playing.
No, that's what I mean. I'm saying I don't know how well that one way of playing would translate once you go to City, because the whole thing about City that's been amazing under Pep Guardiola is how adaptable they've been.
Yes.
His first 2 seasons were one style of football, and it changed completely about 3 times in the subsequent.
Well, he's
18
commonly
seasons.
known as a football genius, you know what I mean? So he can
Yeah.
do that.
He can set 2 or 3
Yeah.
different blueprints, can't he? And then
Yeah.
And I
The rest will
don't
follow.
know if Maresca can do that, because I mean, seems to become an overwhelming consensus
What I
now.
find
that
a little bit
it was
strange
set-
about this
is not
story
lasting.
deal is like the timing of this kind of article from Ornstein. Man City have won 6 in a row. Yes, we know the charges will rear their heads at some point, whatever that punishment will be. Yes, we know that Pep probably doesn't have more than this season, the rest of this season, plus the whole of next season left. We know that, but it's not really a pressing issue right now to know who's on the shortlist for when Pep does leave. So I'm trying to because I don't really understand the timing or purpose of it right now, I'm trying to look a little bit deeper. Do you reckon this story being leaked or not leaked, published today, has anything to do with if City know the punishment or not for the charges, and they're trying to almost...
Oh, that's a really good point.
And they're trying to almost, well, if Pep goes because of these charges, like, let's look now for these guys.
And then
do they know something we don't?
And then potentially try and find someone who would come in, even if like someone who has a connection to City more deeply.
It's maybe a conspiracy from me, but it's maybe worth thinking about.
Yeah, well, I mean, as well, Christopher ZY in the chat says the whole Maresca thing just feels like something from an agent to put out, not a big deal, in my opinion. Because at the same time, I do get where you're coming from there. And also, Maresca's stability at Chelsea, this is what I was just saying.
It's on the rocks.
Right, it is on the rocks.
What
like,
do you think?
Jamie Carragher said he doesn't think he's last in the season.
I tend to agree with him.
Yeah.
on
Jamie
that one.
Carragher said that Salah would never play for Liverpool again.
Yeah, but
So
you
we
can't
can't.
use that to then say that Jamie Carragher's
sure
not
he
right.
did.
No, what I am saying is that you can't just...
But you know the
because
press
he said it
conferences,
doesn't mean
right?
it's true.
Press conferences in the Prem are going to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
The first question that in that Chelsea press conference, or one of two questions, it will go back to the 48 hours. What did you mean by that? And then it will go to, what do you make of being linked to Man City? Like, that's... Maybe it was Maresca's agent that said this. I don't know who the source is. City Inside, as you said, but who does that benefit inside of City to publish that information?
I have no idea. Yeah.
Benefits Maresca.
It feels like if yeah, as you say, if it benefits anybody, it benefits Maresca right now. A, because it also
Pumps his stocks up, doesn't it?
It pumps his stocks up, and B as well. If he's saying, and the reports are saying that he doesn't feel he's got full backing from the board, etc., it's kind of giving them a bit of an ultimatum to either tell him that no, we see you're linked with City, no, we do want you, we want you to stay, we want you to continue being part of the project, or say to him, this is how we like. It kind of forces them to potentially actually put out something, but like at least make it known more black and white where they actually are going. Maresca's kind of going, I feel like, you know, some players are being pushed on me. I'm not getting what I want. I'm not getting the centre-backs I want. I've not got the midfielder I want, not all the experienced striker that I want. And it's the board that haven't given it to me. I'm not feel supported. They now basically have to tell him, black or white, we still support you, or no, we don't.
Yep.
Buy through this. Would you agree that this might be orchestrated from Maresca's side?
It's quite possible. I mean, he's had a difficult week. I mean, I've got to say, and I said it off camera, I don't know what he was doing with those comments. I don't know what
The worst
purpose
48
that
hours of
serves.
his life.
Because when he's not a silly man by any means. He must have known that as soon as you say that, the supplementary question is going to be, well, what contributed to this so-called worst 48 hours of your life? Then to go shut it down and say, I've said enough or I'm not saying anymore, I just thought it was a bit all silly, to be honest.
Well, because as well, is even then afterwards with the comments, he basically went, who are you talking about? And he just went, not the fans. So I'm like, so therefore, it's going to be the board. And then he went, no.
I don't know about you guys,
Maybe
but
he
I
had
thought
a
that
bad couple of days. Maybe his club card got declined. I don't know. Like he stepped on a plug.
No.
Maybe
Well,
he
I'd
just
put
had a
that
couple
out
of
there.
bad
Would
If
days.
you're
stepping
not
on a plug be
prepared
the
to
worst
expand
48 hours
upon
of
it.
your life?
It's not the time or the place to be doing up. Oh, I've had such a bad couple of days. Not in a press conference because
No.
they'll chew you up and eat and spit you out before you can finish that.
It's
So what do you
very-
mean by that? What do you mean? It's,
And
whose fault is this?
It was their first win in 5, or like first win in 4 or 5 games. He said it immediately after that. It was like 2 draws, 2 losses. Then they beat Everton 2-0, first clean sheet in a while, good performance. Malaga.
It's very ill-advised. You come out
Yeah.
and say, I've had the worst 48 hours of my life, and then somebody asks you, well, could you expand upon it? And then your response to them is to say, no, I've spoken about it already enough. You haven't. You've just put that out there. It's pretty obvious the press, being who they are going to want answers. The fans want answers. What are you talking about?
And
And
then
then
it's
to just
Chelsea
leaving it
every
for what's the word I'm looking for? Leaving it up for debate as to what it is about is only a bad thing. If you clear it up, listen, it could just be something quite innocent, but I think
doubt
there
it.
was definitely some kind of hidden
No.
subtlety, maybe a double entendre. I don't know, but
Yeah,
the fans obviously want to know why you've had such a bad 48 hours.
I mean, if it was Wilfred Nancy who said that, then I could understand what he's talking about.
I mean, he has had a really bad 4 days.
4
Very
days.
bad
Four
4
defeats
days.
in 4.
Yeah,
Speak
What do you
that's
reckon?
rough. But I do think with this Maresca news, there is no way that this has just been like accidentally leaked.
Of course not.
Someone.
That's why I
someone
asked the
wants
question.
This out there. Yeah. No, I completely get what you're saying there. Is
None of these guys, when they say stuff, they're all media savvy. They know exactly what they're doing. Without wishing to bring up the whole debacle, Mo did the same thing. He knew what he was doing when he said that. He'd thought about it. That was not a random, off-the-cuff spontaneous interview. He knew what if Liverpool had won that game, there's no way he would have said that.
Interestingly, 63% of the viewers feel that Maresca will not be Man City manager next season.
I hope he is.
Does it make sense? Yeah. I know what you mean.
I hope he gets the job.
I mean, he has beaten us this season.
Well, just because it means Pep won't be here anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know who's been waiting the longest for Pep not to be here anymore? Mr. Jurgen Klopp. If Pep left when he was supposed to a couple of years ago, Klopp would have definitely won another Prem.
Oh, 100%.
Without question.
Yeah.
Without question. Maybe even 2.
I would imagine most, wouldn't you be,
Pep leaving, I'm ecstatic.
Exactly.
I cannot wait for the day Pep Guardiola
It's
leaves
been a
Manchester.
long time, mate.
Even though
been a hard long
we
decades.
all acknowledge his greatness.
There is
if he
the
was to
asterisk.
move on, he would do so with our blessings.
Yeah, I can appreciate how good he is as a manager, but yeah, please leave. Please leave Manchester.
Take him
for
to
my
the
own mental
airport.
health. Yeah. But in other news as well, just this came out about an hour ago, half an hour ago. Yeah, pretty much an hour ago on the dot, is that Kai Havertz has had yet another setback. So, Arsenal forward Kai Havertz is set to be sidelined until early to mid-January following the setback he suffered last month in his rehabilitation from a minor knee surgery. He's been out since the game where he played United at Old Trafford, and he had to have surgery on his knee a week later. Daily Mail Sport understands that in November, the 26-year-old was 1 week away from returning to the matchday squad before picking up an issue in his final training sessions. So we've spoken a lot about Gyökeres, and also everyone knows how Mikel Arteta feels about Havertz, right? Havertz will get it once he is fit and available. He's playing somewhere in that team. Either it's up front, or it's in the midfield, or it's probably literally anywhere. But is
to
this...
say that Arteta likes Havertz is a bit like saying a kid likes chocolate cake, innit? I mean,
Well, Havertz plays all the time. He feels like kind of...
that was a 50-cent term, by the way. Anyway, carry
Oh,
on.
well done. Yeah. but I just feel like, is this almost... I don't know how you feel about Gyökeres, but... actually, no, I do know how you feel about Gyökeres. But I feel like, to a certain extent, would this maybe make Gyökeres' life a bit harder? Because obviously he's going through a bit of a tough time at the moment in terms of there's too many games where he's not scored goals. Where he has got like six goals this season, but 2 of them have been braces, so he's only scored against 4 opponents this season out of the 12, 13.
Although, to be fair to him, at the end of the season, no one's going to...
Yeah, but
when Mo
like,
Salah was hitting order, you didn't go around and dissect who he scored against and when and what was the stage
I'm
of
not,
the
I'm,
game.
I'm not,
Salah's
mention, I'm
big
not
six
mentioning
record
who,
is
yeah.
unbelievable.
That is also true. He scores way too many goals against us.
Maybe Salah
15.
wasn't the...
Yeah, it's crazy how many
15
goals he's got
goals
against
he
United.
scored.
Yeah, maybe Salah wasn't the best, but you
Scored
guys
12
know what I'm
against you
talking
as
about,
well.
right?
Yeah.
But anyway, he scored 6
But-
goals, 4 in the Premier, 2 in the
but,
Championship.
like to a certain
It's not
extent,
good enough
because the only other
Well,
option,
it
yeah,
isn't, though.
I agree with you. I don't. It's not enough for a £55 million signing.
You're going on like 55 is some big 130.
And look, 2
Like
things
Isak.
can be true. Isak hasn't performed. We can talk about that. But right now we're talking about Gyökeres. I'm not saying it's not good enough because I'm deflecting from Isak. It is not good enough.
No,
And
you're
it's-
right.
and It's not
You're
just the numbers on the sheet. It's the eye test, bro. I mean,
No, you know what? I
he
wouldn't
doesn't
necessarily argue with that. What I would say in his
doesn't look
defence,
right.
though, is that he is coming off injury. We should have to take that into account because, you know,
you get a bit
that
of
does
grace
make
for
it,
that.
yeah. So, and one of those games, of the 2 games, was one half of football against a very resurgent Aston Villa with a certain Ezra Konsa playing in excellent form. The game against Wolves, though, and against Bruges as well, both those 2 games were disappointing.
Yeah.
Alex is right. He's been underwhelming so far, using that phrase again. But I still have faith in him. I think one of the problems he's had is that, and I've said this before ad nauseum, I don't think personally that Arsenal are playing to his strengths enough. It's a work in progress. But he still needs to do a bit more. He's looked a bit, for want of a better phrase, clunky is what some people are saying.
I
And
do really
get
think that Havertz coming back would help him so much.
Why?
Because kind of share the workload a bit and allow him to maybe when you don't have a great
Well, you're
start,
suggesting they play in the same team.
No, I mean in terms of like sharing the striker role. Like, so Isak at the moment, obviously he's having a really poor start to his life at Liverpool, but it
Right.
actually in goal scoring it's not as bad as it could be because Ekitike's there scoring goals, right? Ekitike's there and he's able to take the reins, which kind of means that so Isak isn't going through necessarily what Wirtz was and keeps going through in the way that Wirtz is playing a lot and still not managing. He may be having good games here and there, but he's still not managing to actually get any of that final product. With Gyökeres, it's like too many times. It's Arsenal play, Gyökeres, even if it's off the bench or he plays 70 minutes or he plays 90 minutes, he ends up not really impacting the game. And Arsenal win with him just on the pitch there. If he then can maybe take a step back to a certain extent and allow Havertz, who is maybe more trusted at the moment because obviously he's been there, he's played with the players longer and everything, that might actually help
You know what I would say about that?
bed in.
And I'm sure Alex will attest to this. It's amazing how players can look better when they're not in the team. Because when Havertz was playing, honestly, a lot of these same people that are criticising Gyökeres now, they were saying the same things about Havertz. Doesn't impact the game, doesn't score enough. So I'm not so sure if, listen, obviously when we get Havertz back, eventually, you got Havertz, don't count out Jesus either, because he offers something different, and Gyökeres. So our front line will be strengthened, and we've got Marino who can play in there as well. But I still have belief in this guy. I still think it's early.
When do you think the cut-off point is? And I agree, we are still early to be writing his time off, but when do you think you'd have seen enough to go, right, he's not actually for us, this fella?
That's a difficult question.
It's
Because it could be one of them where he
hypothetical, isn't it?
needs this season to bed in, and next season you see the best of him.
Yeah, so it's
Could be
probably
one of
next
them.
season.
Yeah,
After two
yeah,
seasons,
yeah.
you go, yeah, I've seen
But
enough.
what
I
I would
reckon
like
18 months is a good cut-off point to make
Yeah.
it like a serious, like hard draw line judgment.
I think that was what Darwin Núñez kind of got, about 18 months. Obviously, he stayed in the end for 3 years, but...
It's
Then he-
interesting
Yeah.
that you mentioned Darwin Núñez because he came from the same league, didn't he? The same Portuguese
Well,
league.
yeah, same city.
And he struggled. You know what I mean? So maybe there is something.
Doesn't help the stereotype, does it?
It doesn't.
No.
But what you got to remember also is that this man scored something like 102 goals in 97 games or the other way around. But it's a phenomenal strike rate. So he clearly knows where the net is. It could be a case of him adapting to the Premier League because people say, yeah, but he played it before. But he played with Coventry in the Championship. Completely different. He's gone to Portugal, as we can all agree. That league is not to the level of the Premier League. This is his first season. You know what I mean? He's got to get used to the pace of the Premier League. He's got to get used to how we play. It may, as I said, it may be next season until we get the best of it. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he will come good. Whether he'll be that prolific, you know what I mean, 20-odd goal a season, Mo Salah type figure, probably not. I don't know. But it's a work in progress. And I would also mention this. I mentioned this off camera as well. Like, people are getting crazy. He didn't cost us that amount of money. It's not like, and again, I'm referring to Isak. I'm not doing it because I'm dissing Isak. But it's a point worth making. He was less than half the price of Isak. So, you know what I mean? We do need to put things into context.
Yeah, I think with the 18-month thing, I think the best example, especially at Liverpool, was Gravenberch.
Yeah.
He did not have the best season when he first joined, and then like once he didn't have the best first season, then he managed to kick on, and then by January of his second season, it was like, no, this guy is fantastic. This guy is, you know, the kind of midfielder that we wanted to sign.
Yeah.
And eventually got in because it's just adapting, coming from different leagues.
The problem Gyökeres will have, though, is if, God forbid, we don't win the league or any significant trophies, then a lot of the blame will be apportioned to
it will.
But
Yeah.
if we do win the league, which I think we will, then that will provide him with an extra bit of cover as
But
well.
also, as well, he's just not lived up at all to any of the build-up that we needed. He
You
just
see,
hasn't.
I know what you're doing.
He just hasn't because it was.
You're
it was
doing
literally-
that little
it was
Sesko
it was
thing on the
second-
choir.
Hey, look, I haven't mentioned Sheshko once.
Yeah, but I know what
I'm
you're
saying
doing. I know what
is
you're doing,
We
bro.
had second. We need that gunman striker to get us to the top of the league, and it feels like you're top of the league, and he's a passenger in it.
No, he's not.
Gyökeres
a
does
passenger.
feel-
He's
no,
not.
but no.
He's not.
Compared
a
to how some
passenger.
of your other players have been playing, right? To get you to at one point like 9 points ahead. I know it's only 2 points ahead at the moment, but generally like you've been in control of the
Yeah,
league.
but you're
since
carrying
day
on like
one.
he's had a goal drought of 20-odd games, like what Mateta had a few years ago. And by the way, look how he came good. He's got 6 goals this season. He's got 4 in the Premier League, 2 in the Champions League. He's got the same amount of goals as the great Mo Salah.
Yeah,
got
but
2 more than Sesko.
and everyone unanimously assumes that Mo Salah's having a terrible season.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's having a good season. I'm just trying to put it into context. We're not going to write him off yet.
No, I'm not writing off, but I just do feel to a certain extent he's just not been the guy that everyone thought
Well,
he
you
could
said
be.
he's a passenger. I would disagree with that humbly. He's not been a passenger because, like I said, prior to the Burnley game, we was all saying at Arsenal, now the man's clicking. He got the injury, he's come back. Last couple of games have not been particularly, successful. But we move. You might get a brace against Everton on Saturday. You never know. We've got to give it time.
Unlikely. He's not shown
What?
anything that will help him do that.
We'll see.
He hasn't.
How many goals do you think he'll get this season? You
Gyökeres?
personally?
And, yeah.
Yeah.
In all comps?
No, in the Premier League. Or all comes.
Initially, I said 17 to 20, but now I feel like it's going to be more like 15 would be good for him.
I said
4 goals
12.
and there's, 25 games?
What, all comps?
I think he you said league. I think he gets 8 more in the league this season.
Right, so that would be
12.
No, he's
total.
got 6. Oh, Premier League, right? Sorry, yeah.
So he'd be 8 more.
That would be under par for me.
Oh, massively.
Oh,
You want at least double that.
I was saying he should be hitting that 25, 30 all comps and then like up as close to 20 as he can in the league.
I would say 20.
Because I was like, you know what, he's going to become that guy who's going to head in the goals. Because the whole point was he would score against all the teams that you end up drawing against. And you've ended up beating those teams that you normally draw against, and he's not been part of it for the most part in terms of the actual goals. Because he just hasn't.
No.
He hasn't. Marino's done more.
He has. Mourinho has done more.
Yes. But then Marino's done. No, but Marino's done more than most strikers.
But we're talking about. I think Dylan's referring to the eye test. Like when you watch him run these channels, when you watch him kind of not be able to hold the ball up or bring other players, that's not his game. His game is running in behind. But even those chances have come very far and few between as well. Where he's in his Sporting Lisbon preferred kind of situation where he's on the last shoulder, the ball goes in, and he just flat track bullies it and scores. Like he's not getting that at Arsenal. So I think there has to be a level of obviously work hard, stay in the team, get your goals. But if I'm looking at the Odegaards of the team, I'm saying, you know my strength, man. Very similar to Isak. Isak's strength isn't what Gyökeres's is. Isak is like the one-touch killer finish. So how did he score 70% of his goals for Newcastle last season? Jacob Murphy whipping balls in the box. That's why Arne Slot joked about in the press conference. We need to play to his strengths a bit more. Arsenal aren't doing that for Gyökeres.
Yeah, I've said that.
Mikel Merino fits in. He's more of a mould to the ethic and the kind of style of play.
You know why?
That he's more valuable to play instead of Gyökeres.
Yeah, exactly, because he's more of a false 9, whereas Gyökeres is your traditional number 9.
Yeah.
But then,
what I'm saying is,
has Arteta then signed a traditional number 9 and then not changed his team to use him properly?
Not changed his team enough, I would say. Yeah, definitely.
You think that's been maybe Arteta's biggest fault this season? Is he signed a different type of number 9 and then just like whacked him in the team? I would say that is an issue. I would say that there's been a few things that the manager may need to look at. Partly me to tell him what to do. If you're then not playing to Gyökeres' strength, does that then not make him more of a passenger? Because he's basically just like there, and then
I think
passenger's
a bit overstated. Passenger implies that he's having no impact at all. I said to you that prior to the Burnley game, he was being lauded. People saying now he's coming into form. This is what, and then unfortunately he got the injury, and since he's come back from the injury, it's not been particularly, good for him. But as I said, I'm not going to throw him away. I'm going to throw the baby with the bathwater yet, because there's a lot of time. We've not even played half the amount of games in the Premier League yet, and you want us to.
No, I'm just saying that he's not lived up to what everyone thought he would be.
But then there's been a lot of strikers. Isak's not lived up to it.
None of them have.
Exactly.
Well, we had this conversation the other day when basically every single major striker
even
Walter
who people a couple of weeks ago saying, "Oh, this looks like a really good sign."
But he's probably been the best of the lot.
No,
has he?
Ekitike has.
So after Ekitike, sorry, yeah. No, Ekitike.
What about the guy
Ekitike's
from
been the best of
Brentford?
the lot.
Isidore
but he wasn't signed this
Thiago was
summer.
signed.
He was signed last summer and he got injured.
He was injured though. He's only just started.
I know, but
now,
he comes in the
I'm talking
signings of last year.
Okay, but what I'm saying is I think Waltermard's got 4 as well, which is the same
I think
as
he's
Gyökeres.
got about 6 now.
Waltermard?
Yeah. 7 if you include his goals for Sunderland.
But quite a few strikers have struggled. I mean, you've got Haaland who's, right up there, and then a lot of the other guys are not, if not they've not made the impact that people thought they would.
Yeah.
So
Voltemade has, trying to find it, if it's working. But meanwhile, Kian Palmer, 6848, big up for the super chat, says, AGT, Liverpool, like Villa, can cover 10 points. It's 3 games turnaround, 23 games to go. Are you confident with top table teams still having shaky results? So your next 3 games, just for context, Spurs away, Wolves at home, Leeds at home.
And then after that, it's
Fulham away, Arsenal away.
So I said this when we did a round table show on DI yesterday, myself,
Go check that out, by the way.
and Errol. Good show. And I said on it, call me crazy, call me deluded, but if we win our next 4 or 5 and go into that Arsenal game, and let's say maybe they've dropped points
Baltimore has 5.
Maybe they've dropped points to Everton or an Aston Villa or one of the other teams they dropped points to last season. I think it might have been... Basically, the next 6 fixtures for Arsenal are all teams... They're all against teams that they dropped points against last season. So my point was, Am I confident to answer his question? No. But am I totally ruling it out, Liverpool being back involved in some kind of, for how long it lasts, I don't know, but for some kind of title race, I can't rule them out at 1,000,000%, because win our next 4, Arsenal have a couple of shaky results. We play them on January the 8th. Let's say there's a 6-point, 7-point difference. We win that game. All of a sudden, we're 4 points off and we're back in it. But am I confident of that happening? No. 2 things can be true, but I still cannot totally rule them out.
Yeah, the Premier League season's so bizarre.
Because of that.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. Like the thing that I find is the funniest stat in the league, at least to do with United, we've won 2 of our last 7, and in that time we've gone from 9th to 6th.
There you go.
It's so
Win 3
ridiculous
games in
this
the
season.
Prem at the minute, bro. And you're kicking.
3 games in a row in the Premier League gets you 4th.
Well, look at the Villa. I mean, they had a pretty woeful start, and then since then they've been on this
There you
run.
go.
And now
Also,
they're in third.
so I just quickly, big up to Clara Bitsy, gifted 10 subs in the chat, and says, as I'm back from Japan, staying true to my oath, here are 10 memberships as Arsenal got humbled against Villa thanks to cash.
Humbled.
Cash.
Matty
Yeah,
I
man,
think humbled is a bit of a stretch, isn't it? We lost that game.
No, you
with
were humbled.
No, you got
we
humbled.
wasn't.
You were.
Yeah, you got humbled that game.
You got
How?
humbled.
We
'Cause
lost
you
the game with
last minute.
seconds to go.
Humbled.
Yeah, that's a humbling.
That's a
How's that
humbling. It's a
humble?
humbling
Was
defeat.
we outplayed?
Humbling
Yes.
defeat.
Villa deserved those 3 points on the day.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
they did.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, well that's your opinion, but
It's an inferior side with Villa are an inferior side to Arsenal, right? That's just true. All due respect to Villa, Arsenal, you know.
yeah, but you could
Going
say
for
that
Premier
for
League
the
title and
vast
everything.
majority of the teams in the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And
listen,
then you went to their yard and they went, we know how to beat you and we're going to beat you, and then they beat you. Doesn't matter how they did it. It was you went to their yard
yeah, but
and they
I think
beat
you
you.
need to consult the word humbling in the dictionary.
It was
because
humbling.
It wasn't a humbling.
It brought
We
you back
lost the
down to
game
earth.
before.
Laurie
big
Lyle
time.
got humbled. Forget
No, I
Arsenal.
didn't.
Laurie Lyle got humbled.
I said it would be a difficult game, which it was. I thought we deserved a point.
If you lose, you've been humbled.
No, it doesn't.
Any way possible.
There's a way of losing, my friend. You should know this. You can lose a game and be unlucky. I thought we were unlucky. That being said, I thought, if anything, we were humbled against Wolves. If you want to apply that term, I think even though we beat Wolves,
Humbled, yep.
we were humbled there because that was a game where we were expected to not just beat Wolves. A lot of people are looking at that as being a stat padding game.
Do you have any-
Myself included, I've got to admit, I was complacent.
Yeah, of course.
and I
You were
got
thinking
humbled.
telephone score, weren't
Exactly,
you?
I
Cricket
got humbled.
score.
But the Villa game, we all acknowledged that was going to be a difficult game. In fact, I did a video on my channel called "The Hardest Assignment of the Season So Far." That's how I was describing the Villa game. So to say we got humbled, we lost a very close game in the literally the last kick of the match.
All right, if you want to change the word humble to something else, it's at the very least a big reality check for Arsenal. That game was. I really think it was. And it also showed the rest of the league that you're beatable.
Yeah, we're beatable. But
Yeah.
listen, you're saying humbled and
Because it happened, like a couple of weeks after you had
False
this like
sense
8
of-
games in a
using
row
all these
without conceding a
adjectives and
single goal.
I
terms.
think you're being too hooked up on this word humble. It's not that
I
deep.
think you guys need to learn a little bit more about the English language. Listen, we
Well, he's
lost.
Welsh.
I got an A star in my English GCSE.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
so
also
then you
got
should
an
know
A star in Spanish and
There you
English.
go.
So you should know better then.
Bilingual.
Exactly. You're all intelligent guys.
Cállate, hombre.
Apply your intelligence
Sí,
accordingly.
sin duda.
What I would say, though, on a serious note, Dylan, is that if you recall, which I'm sure you do, when we lost to Villa, that was our first defeat in 18 games.
Who's the one before that?
So
Liverpool
at
at
the end of the day,
Anfield.
this thing
That was a
about
humbling.
What a
bringing us
trophy
back
for
to
Liverpool,
reality
that is.
is,
Oh, we just have that trophy.
You got this one.
That's an
you
actual
can
one.
talk
we have.
over me if you want, but
Yeah.
the fact
Yeah,
is,
go
It's
on,
not
go
nice,
on.
is it?
Go on.
yeah, one loss in 18 or 19 it would have been at that time. So it is what it is. We're still top of the table. I'm still confident in the team, and I'm still confident that come May 2026, Arsenal will be parading that Premier League trophy not too far from there, actually.
And remember,
On
we've
Upper
also
Street.
we've also got on camera yes from FJ that if Arsenal win the league, he's going to come in the studio and hand over his trophy he keeps bringing in to you. That should be a fun piece of content if that happens. Massam9320 says Gyok from the missing piece to the missing one.
Say that again?
Gyökeres
Yeah.
was the missing piece, and he's turned into the missing one.
It's a nice play on words, but we'll see. We'll see.
And then Clara Bitsy says, Laurie, stop it. Both Lara brothers a few years ago tried to change the definition of the word bottle. Now it's the term humble. When's it going to end?
True. Very true. Big up, Clara.
Very,
Bitsy.
very true.
Fantastic.
Big up Clara Bitsy,
Can I
but
get a
you got
water,
it very
please?
wrong on this.
Yeah. But just to moving on to some further transfer news, obviously I think the big name that's going to be thrown around all over January is Antoine Semenyo, because I'm so convinced that Antoine Semenyo is going to be not at Bournemouth come the end of the January transfer window, because that 60 plus 5 million transfer, the release clause is just too good for any team to press up. And so basically, what's happened in the last 48 hours or so is apparently both Manchester City and Manchester United have contacted Bournemouth to become informed about the conditions of the deal. So obviously you got 60.5 million, but there'll be very specific
60.5 or 65?
So it's 60 plus 5 is
Right.
what I meant, sorry, yeah. But what it'll be is there'll be like conditions that it has to be met in a certain number of years, and it has to be like a certain number of payments at a certain time. So what it could be is like 40 million quid in the January window and then 20 in the summer, which would make it much harder for him to get, because coughing up 40 million pounds up front is no easy task. But Fabrizio Romano has basically just said that, yeah, United and City have both made contact with Bournemouth, whereas Tottenham are currently pushing the hardest, showing genuine and aggressive interest. Whereas with Liverpool, they remain in the background, having first inquired in November, but the next steps are linked to what happens with Mo Salah and their broader January priorities. When with multiple clubs in the race, the decisive factor is going to end up being obviously him. And apparently it says that he's not just going to pick the biggest and the fattest contract. It's going to be what's
right
best
club.
for him. Yeah.
I think
terms
the
of his
project
career.
of
Yeah.
and I agree with him. That's what every player should do. But when I look at the profile, obviously he can play off the left, right, strong, direct, aggressive, can beat someone, can score, can assist. It ticks a lot of boxes. If I was looking at Manchester City, I'd go, hang on, they've got Marmoush, Shirky, Doku, Foden, Savinho. Where am I fitting in that?
I
How many minutes can you guarantee me? So I would almost write that one off. United, with all due respect, obviously you've got Ahmad, you've got on that left-hand side who can cut in Cunha, got your shiny new toy in Sesko, you got Xerxes, you got Mbuma as well. And I'd look at Liverpool and I'd say, okay, this opportunity strikes me because Mo Salah famously will be leaving, whether that's January, the summer, or the end of next summer, remains to be seen. But in terms of like a pathway, a career pathway, look at all those options and go, do you know what? Can I go there in January? And it's mid-January, which is the buyout clause, the release clause. It's not January the 1st. It's actually like, I think it's my birthday. I think it's the 17th or something. So you'd have to wait.
It's Martin Luther King Day. As well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and Muhammad Ali shares my birthday as well.
All the greats.
All the greats, mate.
I share
And
my birthday
and
with
Calvin
Anna Herrera.
Harris and Jim Carrey.
Wow.
And Nine.
That's actually quite a
rapper.
list, actually.
Yeah, it is decent. And Michelle Obama.
Wow.
Just
It
remembered
keeps
that
going.
one. Yeah, still. Yeah, I'm done. So my thing is, can I go to Liverpool in January? My question, if I was Semenyo, would be like, can I be a sponge and learn everything that I can from Mo Salah before he leaves in the summer? If that's an option, let me come in January, see what we can achieve, and then next season, Liverpool would say, look, Mo's leaving, right, in June next year. You can be the new Mo. We'll give you the number 11. You can play on the right. I think in terms of projects, Liverpool suits him the best, knowing that Mo Salah is out the door in the next 6 to 12 months.
I reckon that in terms of if we're taking away who's interested and who isn't interested in him, my opinion would be that Arsenal is the best place for him to go.
He's an
Because
Arsenal fan.
he-
right?
With
Eze
Eze,
is an Arsenal
Madueke,
player.
Saka, he doesn't.
No,
get in
on
that
the
team,
left,
bro.
he's better than Trossard and he's better than Martinelli. And he's on the left, he's better than Eze. Eze's best through the middle anyway. Like, I do think like Arsenal would be great, but discounting Arsenal because you seem to have no money in January, as far as like there's like some UEFA guidelines that mean that you're really pretty heavily restricted for spending in January.
I don't think Arsenal will do big business.
Yeah, I don't
in
think you're going to do
January.
anything.
No.
So that does, for me, I agree with you. That does leave Liverpool. 'Cause also as well, your left hand side is a bit dead.
Well, and the right hand side, you know, in terms of
Like Gakpo's not been fantastic.
Gakpo, I
for a
don't
lot of
see
the
as
season.
maybe like our winger that we can nail down at left wing for the next 3 to 4 seasons. We need him around, but to be a starter week in, week out with no competition, that can't happen. The right-hand side, we could actually say, what side do you want to play on? Because we've got, you know, options. We've got availability at both sides, left, right.
Well, he's two-footed
play
as
where
well,
you
yeah.
want.
I think I saw a graphic earlier. I think he's been the most. He's taken the most shots evenly on either foot out of every single Premier
He
League
scored
player
with
this
his
season.
right foot at Anfield first night of the season and his left foot.
Yeah,
And he, for his second goal, he was very
he's
central.
He's an incredible player.
I think the word incredible is maybe a touch
Sorry, he's going to be an
hyperbole.
incredible player.
Yeah,
I
I
really
mean, there's
do
no
think so.
guarantee of anyone. But listen, I think he scored. How many goals did he score last season? Can you get that up for me?
Yeah,
And
I'll
how
get that
many? I know he started off really well this season, but he had a bit of a tail off.
Scored at the weekend.
Yeah, he scored against
He's
us
probably, if I'm honest, tell me how many goals he's got. Go on.
last season.
I
He
think he's
got.
got 7 this
Trying to
season.
find him. He got 11 last season
In the Prem.
in the Prem. I don't know about all comps.
See, I think I can try and
And
compare it
this
to when we
season, I
bought
think he
Mane.
might also. He's on 7 this season.
Yeah, I
So
thought it was 7.
When we bought Mane from Southampton, he was putting up 13, 14
Mm.
a season, and then we put him in Liverpool, and he's coming.
He gives me
25 to 30.
big Sadio Mane vibes. He does.
He could potentially come in and explode under Arne Slot in terms of game time, technique, learning from Mo Salah. You got Ekitike there who he can link up with Isak. I think in terms of options on the table, him and his agent will sit down and go, Liverpool's the best project for me.
I've been saying for weeks. I reckon Liverpool's also a clear favourite. But I think it's one of those things of you're going to act like Man City do in the Premier League in this. You're going to stay behind for the first until you sort out the Mo Salah thing, and then you'll just jump to the top. Because Spurs are just trying to get the jump on everybody.
We do that.
He won't go
sometimes.
to Spurs.
He won't go to Spurs, but that's why Spurs are acting so aggressively at the moment, reportedly. Like they're well ahead of everyone else in terms of trying to talk and everything. This is the same with Eze.
Yeah, exactly.
They were trying to get Eze before you were able to even.
And they're in
enter
a
the room,
difficult
and
moment.
it didn't work.
Not being funny, right? But if you're Semenyo, why would you leave Bournemouth and go to Spurs when you've
Yeah.
got options
Oh, no,
like
that's not
City,
going to happen.
United?
That's not going to happen.
Exactly, it's
No
not
way
going to
that's
happen.
happening.
They can shout and holler all they want.
Kian Palmer
That's
also asks,
Just won't pick
big
their
up for the
phone
super
call
chat.
up.
He says, "Can Gay and Semenyo bring trophies in at City, Liverpool, or Arsenal?" Yeah,
I think if we get Gahey, and again we did this January transfer predictions window yesterday, if Liverpool can get Gahey and Semenyo in, I think that massively boosts their Champions League chances. Obviously you've got to navigate Qarabag and Marseille away as the last 2 games of that, but with 12 points you'd like to think Liverpool will qualify. I mean, look, in January if there's an I call it an opportunity. You've got an opportunity in January to actually grip your season round the neck and go, this isn't done yet. Let's add a little bit more quality. Because it's not as if of course, the people will say, oh, Liverpool spending money again. They spent $450 in the summer. The mad thing is, we weren't finished in the summer. We needed another week to get a Gahey in, to get another winger in, a replacement for Diaz. Obviously, Jota passed away, rest in peace. Luis Diaz went. So, yes, we brought Ekitike and Isak in, and Havertz. But we're still actually a couple players short. The depth isn't crazy at Liverpool right now. So, I think it's a massive boost for Liverpool's. Look, you see where they are in the league. If they do get those 2 players in at the end of Jan, how can that be improved performance in the league? But Champions League could be massively boosted. The hopes for it if them 2 come in.
yeah. Just on Semenyo as well. This is semi-breaking news, but from the United side, is that Manchester United, according to the Telegraph, are going to go all out to sign Antoine Semenyo in January. This is just come out just now.
It's the wrong move.
Man United are in the hunt for Semenyo, and they hope the uncertainty over Pep Guardiola's future at Man City could strengthen their position in the race. Tottenham and Liverpool are also in the mix.
It would. I know.
Wrong
Obviously,
move
I know
do you
you're
think
United, but that's
United
the wrong
side
move
for
me.
him.
Yeah, on his side, that would be the wrong move.
I wouldn't say we're the wrong move. I just feel
Well, you're
like
not the right one, are
taking
you?
away the United. We're not the best move for him, unless
So
well, it
he needs to do
depends
the
on-
best. You just said it yourself. Him and his agent. You said Liverpool's the perfect fit for him. So
after
now that you've
Arsenal.
heard United fancy him as well, you're trying to build up United's chances of
Well,
buying
no.
him.
So I spent a lot of time on United View earlier on today. So I had my Thursday show on United View, and we spent a lot of time talking about Semenyo. And what I effectively said was, if we want to sign Semenyo and we can sign Semenyo, I'm so for it
Yeah, of
because I
course
think
you
he's
want him,
fantastic.
But does
I'm
he want
just
that
I don't.
project right now. I don't think.
Well,
so.
I don't know. We'll
Well,
figure
I
out.
can
I
tell
think
you.
it's going to
He
be.
won't.
It will be a tough sell. I think getting Semenyo to United is a tough sell for sure, because partly because we've already got fantastic options in attack. We will need more in the summer. If we get and manage to get back into European football, even that's Europa League, Champions League, whatever it is, double the games this week. You know how you mentioned Liverpool's depth? Our depth is better than it was, especially in attack. Like we've had our injuries, like Ahmad and Bruno are gone to AFCON, but I still feel we're still going to score goals against our opponents. We still got other players who are able to do that. Bruno, Cunha, Sheshko, and that's basically it, isn't it?
I think
Casemiro
Xerxes.
as well, and Xerxes in terms of goal scorers. But
I think Liverpool
Yeah.
are favourites, and I think City would be second favourites.
I'd agree.
I do think that Liverpool, you're going to end up favourites, but you need to wait for Salah to come back to AFCON before you can actually work out what to do.
Yeah, that could also happen. I mean, if Salah, there is also a chance if we get Semenyo in January, there is a chance that we could entertain an offer for Salah in January if the price is right. yesterday on DR, we said, Errol and I and Doyle said, if the situation is this, let's say in January Liverpool go and get Semenyo. Let's say with 5 days left, the Saudis come in and they say, right, here's 75 now, or in the summer it's 35. And I think there would have to be a discussion. There would need to be a difficult decision made on Mo Salah's future there.
Because
that's for 45, 50 mil difference between January and summer. So I think Laurie's falling to sleep. So I think we should. I don't know.
It's just when you were talking, I suddenly
Started yawning and closing your eyes like that, nodding off. No,
But,
it's good.
I'm not sure if Salah will be there come the end of this.
This is the other thing as well. So you do mention about Salah and the Semenyo and how like one obviously does impact the other, but also just double checking as you referenced a bit before, Semenyo's contract, the expiry is mid-January, which is almost exactly the same time as AFCON ends. So if Salah does manage to go all the way with Egypt or even into the semi-finals, there is no time for him to be able to come back to Liverpool, sit down, have a chat, and maybe.
Well, his
agree on
agent
a
will be
January
talking. You know, Rami Abbas, his agent, will be speaking, not fairly regularly to the club, but in those kind of highlighted moments, like a January, like a summer, there will be a lot of chats going back and forth. But as far as I'm concerned, he's still got 18 months on his contract, and unless anything, I don't expect anything.
What kind of bid would you be happy like to see him go for
When?
in January?
No.
Jan.
I wouldn't want him to go
Would there
in
not
Jan.
be a number for you? Because on Live at 5 when we've been talking the last
150?
couple of days, 150.
Yeah.
Damn.
He was that price 6 months ago, though, wasn't he?
Was that
Was
like
he
a
not?
price for everyone, or like a bit of like a Saudi
That
price?
was a go-away price, maybe. But in this, there's two questions. What would I take in January versus what would I take in the summer?
And would
150 and 75.
would that number change if it became apparent and clear that he wants to go? So let's say
When?
let's say he comes back in. Well, we can start with Jan.
He won't
Let's
leave
say-
in
let's
Jan.
say he comes back
He
from
won't leave
AFCON
in
and
Jan.
goes, "I want to go."
He won't leave in Jam. He
I
won't
don't
leave
think.
in
I
Jan.
don't
not
think
think
he's
there's
leaving
even a
January.
chance
There's
that
still
Jan.
there's still a big send off. There's still a big finish in the saga for Mo Salah. He doesn't end his Liverpool career
Ian Scene says,
Like
"I
this.
reckon they'll take 85 mil."
in Jan.
But he
Or the
just says
summer.
85 mil.
Say because it's very specific. You have to say Jan or summer. 'cause
Yeah,
there's two
do
different
let
things.
us know if you mean January or summer, or in general.
Indy Kyler's just tweeted.
No, what's he saying?
Manchester City can't confirm to Antoine Semenyo's representatives that Pep will be at Man City next season, according to sources. So they've gone, right, you interested in Antoine? They've gone, yeah. They've gone, right, will Pep be there next year? Because he loves a bit of Pep. Can't confirm. Right, probably call you back then. Cheers, mate. That's what's happened.
It could be a very, very disruptive thing for Man City's summer transfer window if Pep Guardiola, and also if maybe half some of
As
the current
in the
players
players
as
won't
well.
want to come unless Pep's there.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
or at least won't want to come unless they know if Pep's going to be there or not.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh, well, it would depend on who the new manager is, surely.
That as well. If it's Enzo Maresca, do you think that would make it actually fairly less appealing compared to if it was someone
I
else
would
like Xavi
imagine
or something,
so.
for example?
But then, if it was another manager of good standing, then the player might look at it differently.
I reckon we are in to see quite a big overhaul at Man City now.
Thank God.
Yeah,
About time, isn't it?
I can't wait. It's going to be great. I just want to finish above them at least once. Oh, we've fallen so far. But, yeah, I mean, regardless, just on the stuff with Semenyo and United, I'd love it. If we can somehow convince him to come and, like, battle with Cunha on the left-hand side or play as a left wing back or something, it'd be fantastic.
It's not going to happen, mate. Just forget about it.
I don't
It's
know,
not
you
gonna
never know.
happen. It's not going to happen.
We are Man United at
It's
the end
not
of the
gonna
day.
I would
And
highly
Buma wasn't
doubt
going to
It's not
happen.
going to happen.
Highly
Buma
down.
wasn't
I mean,
gonna
put
happen,
yourself
apparently.
into Menyu's shoes. Other than
Cash.
cash, what would really inspire you to join United? This version of United, the manager that you have at the moment.
Because
as
we're
well.
Man United, mate.
Doesn't work.
That,
All
not,
doesn't
that,
work.
that used to work.
It
but
worked
that
last
doesn't
summer.
work anymore.
I remember saying
That
last
works
summer.
when you're the current European English Premier League title holders, but when you're like 17th and you go, we're Man United, doesn't really work the same.
On a real, I remember saying last summer, I said I think this is the final summer where just basically Semi just going, we're Man United still works. Because then Buma had offers from everywhere, right? And he was like, no, I want them. So did Cunha. He was like, I want them.
Maybe
So
this is
Šeško
the
had
last
offers, he
time
was
it
like, I want
works then.
them.
Hopefully.
And I said last summer, I said I think this is the last time that United will be able to just kind of rely on their own name to actually convince players to come, and therefore we need to end up finishing the Champions League spots this summer. This season we need to, otherwise it will peg us back quite a lot.
Yeah.
I've been one of the questions yesterday that Ben asked me when he came on. Ben said, "Would you rather United get into the Champions League and not really be competitive in the Champions League, or get into the Europa League and go on and then win it?"
We
And I
tried
said
to do
Champions
that,
League.
didn't you?
Yeah, that's why I said I don't want to go through that again. I've had that twice in the last 5 years. I would rather we get in the Champions League and for now be a team that goes, I'd take quarterfinal. Like I would much rather that, because the allure of saying, you know, we're back in the Champions League, the stimmy that comes along with it transfer wise, the flexibility that you then have after and everything. Personally, that's what I would take rather than having to go through Thursday night football, because Thursday night football does, and Monday night football at the moment as well wants to make me put my head through a wall. It's the best. Is honestly, it's these Monday night. We've got another one as well, you know, in January or February. Everton, our Everton away is now Monday night football as well.
It's crazy. This
We get
what
so
do
many
you
Monday
make
night
of
games.
Tottenham apparently open to selling Brennan Johnson, and Crystal Palace currently leading the way?
I'm not surprised at that news, because let's be honest, he's not had the greatest of times there, has he? He's seen by many Tottenham.
Scored in a cup final.
That would be
I think
huge
for the
signing for
majority
Crystal
of his
Palace.
career,
I reckon that'd be a really big signing for Palace. They're falling apart, by the way. Munoz is out. I think Mateta's been playing with an injury for a month. Sar's obviously got fitness issues as well. They got into Europe and then made £16 million in the transfer window. Glasner's openly just slamming the board for not signing any players.
They could have had 40 mil more if they listened to us.
Yeah, but they'd have 40 mil more and then even fewer players. That was the right
Not our
move
problem, mate.
from Palace.
Reinvest it.
But it was in the final hours of the transfer window.
Wow, get it done early then.
Oh, why don't you bid enough then?
Wow. Don't go to the gym at 5:30 till 6:30 on a deadline of 7 p.m, Steve Parish.
Is that
Well,
what
it
he
clearly
did?
worked, didn't it? I do think though
My
that
man went to the gym for the last hour of the window, knowing he couldn't be contacted when we were trying to push this deal sheet in. And bro, he was in Liverpool tracksuits. He was at our London office. We had a photo shoot.
Hadn't he done the medical and everything?
We'd done the medical. We'd filmed a video. How does it feel to be a Liverpool player? It's brilliant. Blah blah blah. And Steve
That's
Parish
mad
went to the
that
gym.
that's on a. There's a hard drive somewhere with that whole thing on there.
Like the Nabil Fekir pics that we had. Remember that?
God, I forgot about that Fekir thing.
He'd signed for us as well.
That was mental.
And then we bought Shaqiri, I think, instead of him.
He was fun. Shaqiri was fun.
Won the Champions League and the league with Liverpool.
Yeah, I do think Brennan
Still
Johnson's
playing.
Palace makes
Brilliantly.
sense for so many parties. Like, well, I'm sure Abby's ecstatic.
I
Abby
mean,
does
Palace-
not like
Can
Brennan
Palace
Johnson.
not aim a little bit higher? With all due respect.
He's a decent player. He's decent, and he's probably Crystal Palace kind of level.
What, FA Cup winners? I think
What was
maybe
that
it's...
kind of like? I think maybe he's not good enough for Tottenham when you compare him to the other players they have when they get back from injury. Why are
Yeah.
you looking at me like that? You okay, Laurie? But like, because
He's drifting, this fella.
Like when
We got a Christmas party tonight and he's yawning already, so...
I'm not yawning.
not yawning.
Well,
No.
you're just asleep.
Just sleeping. But like, because
Fantastic.
when Kulusevski's back, if Maddison comes back and he actually has knees still and everything, Brennan Johnson's getting nowhere near that team, and also on a level of hopefully Wales, hopefully going to the World Cup if we can beat I forgot who it is, Kosovo and potentially Italy or Northern Ireland. I want Brennan Johnson playing week in, week out. I want, because he's great for Wales. He's great for us. He's often he scored a lovely goal against North Macedonia and everything.
Yeah, but
So
with
him
respect,
getting
it's
minutes
very
is
different.
big.
Very
Yeah, but for me, if in terms
60
of Brennan
mil.
Johnson, if he can get minutes ahead instead of like being on the bench because Kulusevski's return or like I don't know Richarlison's playing every week and stuff, I think it's a good move for all parties. Only if Spurs can bring in a reliable attacker though, because if Kulusevski keeps getting injured, Madison's out, Dom Solanke's basically just disappeared from the face of the earth. Like they do need to get in a replacement who will be more suited to Spurs
Yeah,
than Brennan Johnson is.
I agree.
But I think
See, the knock on
it's a
hit
good
Brennan
move.
Johnson is that, and I've heard quite a few Spurs fans say that it's a bit lightweight, isn't he? He's a bit flaky.
him.
And
Yeah,
Brennan Johnson.
he is.
Maybe not for Wales, but that's certainly for Spurs. That is the
Abby
narrative.
calls him back post Brennan because he
I
scores
saw
all
it
of his
in the
goals,
in the
tap-ins
Europa
at the
League
back
final.
stick. Yeah,
Hey,
hold that.
Sterling had a career
Hold
out
that.
of doing that. I know. I've been holding
Free
that
up
for
Raheem
months.
Sterling, man. He's got something to someone to still give them, and I feel
The agent.
Crystal Palace.
Honestly, bro, yeah, maybe.
They need Crystal Palace need bodies
Go.
big time. If they
Go
got
there.
Raheem Sterling on this European title charge they're going with,
Yeah,
they can crack
exactly,
on.
mate.
The problem Raheem's going to have, though, his spell at Arsenal was a pretty unmitigated disaster.
And Chelsea.
Yeah,
And Chelsea,
maybe not
so-
for a big six club, but he's got this. As Alex said,
He's got the
he's
name.
got something for someone.
He's got something.
Whether he's still
for
got the
someone, mate.
legs is debatable.
He could
Yeah.
go Milan, Inter, all of them.
Anyway,
So-
but regardless, thank you both for coming on. We have
Cheers,
been
mate.
DR Sports Live at 5. If you've been watching on YouTube, Facebook, Samsung TV, big up to you. I hope you have a great Thursday night and a great Friday. I'll be back here at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Still hopefully full of energy, even though we've got the Christmas party tonight. But apart from that, I'll see you soon. Cheers.
Be here. Listen, lots of people have been asking me, Robbie, how have you managed to lose so much weight? And I feel so much better for it. And it has been a journey. But these two little things here, Optimum Day and Optimum Night, have really, really helped me on my weight loss journey. This Optimum Day, what it does, it helps you to curb your cravings. It really helps with your metabolism and just really just stabilizes things. And I swear by this. I absolutely swear by this. And then the Optimum Night, what this one does, I take these before I go to bed at night, helps you to have a much better, deeper sleep, makes you relax, makes you sleep, and makes your body recover. And these pills, I mean, listen, they're not magic pills, but they're all natural, and they have really, really helped me in my weight loss journey, and I really, really swear by them. So if you want to get your hands on these, scan the QR code in the description right now, or click the link down below, and you can get 70% off your first order with the Optimum Day and Optimum Night by Oxford Natural. As I said, these have been essential tools in my weight loss journey. Of course, there's no magic to it. You've got to eat less, you've got to go to the gym, you've got to do all those things. But these two have really, really helped me, and I recommend them very, very highly. So once again, if you want to get them and get 70% off your first order, all you've got to do is scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description, and you get 70% off your first order.